You know, Ernest Holmes, a number of years ago, spoke our spiritual movement into being with a very classic statement. He said, "There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now." He spoke into being the path that you are walking, and that all of us here engaged in this study are walking. And you are called to be the light of this truth and to stand in this world as women who know the truth of the goodness of this divine life that we are living, and to share the happy news of it with the people who gather around you, who are called into your sphere of influence. And I don't know that there is a more important time on the planet than right now to be doing this work. You know, there are people who have the ability to give utterance to the huge cosmic sweeps of change that happen, and they're talking now. And what they're saying is that we are in a time of profound change, when a huge spiral of Earth's herstory, as opposed to history, Earth's herstory, which is the same as a dimension, which is the same as a frequency of vibration, which is the same as level of consciousness, all of that is completing right now. And if you feel into the cells of your being, you know it's so. And we are watching structures in our society and in our culture fall. We are watching things that have existed for a long time begin to crumble. And people on the inside are feeling the change. And there is uncertainty, and there are moments of fear, and there is a sense of wandering within, as if what has been is not quite wrong, but not quite exactly right anymore, and something new is whispering. And it is into this profound time of change that you arrive with the newness of ministry strong in you. The newness of ministry strong in you. And you have been seeded with our principles. And you know the truth of the unity of all life, and the beauty and the divinity of individual being, and the power of consciousness to create. And most of all, you know the sacredness of all of life. And it is as you teach this, as you live it, as you embody it, as you call people into this realization, especially at this time, you are helping them lift their vibration. And all of life lifts with the people that you are serving. And in the lifting is the ushering in of the brand new spiral of Earth's story and dimension and frequency of vibration and level of consciousness. This is a big thing. This is a really, really big thing. And so the first part of this call is that I call you to this moment in time and to the work that you are to do. The second thing that I call you to is the authenticity of your own path and your own walk with God. And you are here to do the work that you are called to do, and to do the serving that you are called to do in just the way that you do it. And to keep faith with the way in which Spirit is using you and no one else but you. I ask you to be willing to undergo all of the transformations that Spirit has asked of you. You have been willing and is about to ask even more. And that you be patient with the packages in which your healing comes. The people and the places and the things and the situations that turn out to be the agents by which God's call is happening in your life. I ask you to be patient and to surrender quickly, because it goes much easier that way. There is a saying that a minister will always conform around her the people and the circumstances that she needs for the greatest healing. And so it is to surrender to this process, to see it for what it is, to be as graceful as you can, and to keep doing the work of knowing the truth and speaking the truth and living the truth, no matter what it is. I ask you to stand powerfully in this world as women in spiritual leadership, and to find within yourselves the classic feminine powers of caring for and caring about relationships and being collaborative. At the same time that you find within yourselves the classic masculine powers of being goal-directed and task-oriented and able to achieve. And that you bring these great streams of energy together in a balanced fashion and live a balanced spiritual leadership in our world. And most of all, I ask you to keep bringing forth the absolute fullness and uniqueness of your being, so that you are bringing forth in the world exactly what is unique to you. Because what the world does not need now is a repeat performance of what anyone else has done or will be doing. But that you stand in your uniqueness. The world that is coming into being asks that you give of yourself exactly the way that you are, in the way that no one else can do. That is what is wanted and needed. My dear friend Michelle Tiernan, who is up here with the Corazon Global group, sent me a poem by Rumi the other day, which is about honoring your own path. And it's a little bit of a longish poem, but I'm going to read the whole thing. And it begins with some questions and then some stories that are about other people. Who gets up early to discover the moment light begins? Who finds us here circling, bewildered like atoms? Who comes to a thirsty spring and finds the moon reflected in it? Who, like Jacob, blind with grief and age, smells the shirt of his lost son and can see again? Who lets a bucket down and brings up a flowing prophet, or like Moses, goes for fire and finds what burns inside the sunrise? Jesus slips into a house to escape enemies and opens a door to the other world. Solomon cuts open a fish and there's a gold ring. Omar storms in to kill the prophet and leaves with blessings. Chase a deer and end up everywhere. An oyster opens his mouth to swallow one drop. Now there's a pearl. A vagrant wanders empty ruins. Suddenly, he's wealthy. I pause. Those are stories, wonderful stories, through time and myths about other people. And here's the point. But don't be satisfied with poems and stories of how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth without complicated explanation, so everyone will understand the passage we have opened you. Start walking toward God. Your legs will get heavy and tired. Then comes a moment of feeling the wings you have grown lifting. And so, beloved sisters of spirit, those of us who look upon you today are inspired by you. We are inspired by who you are. We are inspired by who you are becoming. We are inspired by how God is being glorified in you. And you are looking very angelic, but we cannot see, even though we cannot see under those angelic robes, there are wings which you have grown that even now are beginning to shake and stretch, and they are readying you for flight. I know that each and everything that you do in ministry is blessed by God for the greater benefit of all life everywhere. And in you, this lifting is very beautiful. Many blessings and lots of love. Thank you.